All right, welcome back everyone to the third session of this morning's presentation of results. We are turning now to the pilot experience from the value chain generator development, the functionalities and so on and so forth, to what has been done by our project partners using the tool during the last years. And as you know, the approach of our project was a very practical one. In parallel to gathering data and working on the tool, our project partners have, in spite of extremely complicated COVID pandemic-related situations, been able to take to the field and to initiate concrete bio-based business opportunities with real-world actors identified through the value chain generator. And it is my great pleasure to welcome on this panel 4 persons who have been extremely actively involved in this piloting sessions and have been instrumental in making this piloting session, turning ideas into concrete action, into a real success story of our project. First of all, we have Dorian Wessely with us. Dorian is a project manager at the Cleantech Cluster Upper Austria, participating in the AlpLinkBioEco project as project partner for Business Upper Austria. And he was the lead partner of this piloting phase of the project, leading the piloting phase, steering this piloting ship through the complicated pandemic, and extremely instrumental in making it a success story. Second, we do have Mr. Udo Eckloff. Udo is a very renowned plastics expert at Innonet Kunststoff of the Technologiezentrum Horb am Neckar in Baden-Württemberg. Udo has been active in one of the piloting exercises, one of the bio-based business opportunity ideas that led probably to the biggest success throughout the project. And I'm really happy to have Udo on the panel as well to share his experience with the tool and with his bio-based business opportunity idea with the participants of the conference. Third, we do have Professor Manuela Romagnoli, wood technology and harvesting professor at the Centro di Studi Alpino and the Department of Innovation in Biology, Agri-Food and Forestry of the University of Tuscia. With a dependency in the Alpine region of Trentino with the Centro di Studi Alpino. So Manuela has been in our project really the scientific conscience for everything that concerned wood value chains, and has been very, very active in pushing and bringing forward wood-based value chain ideas from a scientific point of view. Last but not least, great pleasure to introduce to you someone who has not been a project partner, but has been involved in the project as an observer, Patricia Giraudy, director of Novachim, a cluster uniting actors from chemistry and the materials sector based in southern France, observing our project since its beginning and one of our most active observers in actually helping us to turn ideas into concrete action. This is the panel for the next minutes. I will go now one by one with a few questions through the panel to give you the opportunity to share with the participants your insights into the concrete piloting phase of the project. And I would like to start with you, Dorian, who have been the leader of this activity, the mastermind behind what we called piloting sessions. So could you please give to the participants an overview over what has been done in this piloting phase of the project?
Hello, and thank you very much for the opportunity to tell you something about the BioLinks and about the piloting session. Warm greetings from Linz, and thank you for the nice introduction. It's really a pleasure to be here and to tell you something about the whole process. So I will go on after your elaborations and after your experiences with the value chain generator as such, and tell you what we did in our work package. So we basically started at a level where the value chain generator has been sufficiently fed with data, and it experienced several updates, as you already know. And then we were able to develop these new bio-based business models in the Alpine space, these so-called BioLinks. and we had to test them in our work package. And this point in time was reached in spring 2020. In a general sense, it was planned to discuss possibilities and potentials, but also hurdles and challenges to overcome with relevant stakeholders and so-called actors, as you already know. The latter were mainly understood as companies that can provide certain segments or sections in the value chain, and they were very important in this regard. At that time, however, the extent of the threatening pandemic was already becoming apparent, which is why we used more and more software tools for collaboration, which was a very good idea at this point of time. And it turned out to be very beneficial later on. So in the first phase, a cloud-based exchange of ideas and literature on bio-based value chain has been very important, especially for the development of cross-regional biolinks. The ideas developed by the software and discussed in the consortium were then written down in standardized templates, a simple text document, so to speak. This provided the opportunity to further develop the ideas, and these were not longer bound to the database, which is already which was a problem at some point, because the communication of the ideas to companies would have been very difficult only with the software tool. Meanwhile, the extent of the pandemic has made itself obvious in the local lockdowns. Consequently, we all agreed on having online piloting sessions instead of the initially planned workshops in real life. Based on the structure of the templates with the most important information summed up, we prepared a questionnaire focusing on crucial points regarding technical, economic, and legal feasibility. The time to distract these companies from their core business by pitching virtually ecologically sound business models could not have been worse, so to speak. At least from my point of view, at this point in time, they were not really happy that we approached them, but it changed pretty much. Thus, the difficulty of this situation led us to the offer of coaching sessions together with the advisory board for the whole consortium. And again, I want to thank you also, especially the lead partners, for this opportunity we could offer at this point in time, because we were really a good team consisting of a technical expert, of an economical expert, and also of a IT expert in this time. And not to forget Uli, who is the chemistry expert in this regard. So this was really a very vital offer we made to the whole consortium. So the main aim of this coaching was to present the ideas to the companies in a very convincing way, and therefore reduce skepticism. By structuring this process, so to say, it became easier for all project partners to approach the companies, to approach the actors, and to implement the ideas, or at least to discuss these ideas with the companies. Our experience from the cluster work was also helpful. As Michael already said, I'm working at the cleantech cluster, and we initiate and supervise many regional cooperation projects. So this process to be gone through is similar and includes not only the joint assembly of a committee or a consortium, but also the development of an idea with a high innovation content for businesses and the location of Austria in general. So it was very interesting and exciting for me to do this on a larger scale with much more participants. So would you please go to the next slide? Thank you very much. I hope you can see that. So we have been very successful. That's why the table is so big, and we came to a breakthrough, so to say, because initially we had to pilot 4 value chains, but we were able to pilot even more. And I don't want to go in so much into the detail because we have also on the panel experts who will give you more insights on their relevant biolinks they piloted. But I want to just point out some really exciting points. Also, Mr. Paterman said, because we really try to focus on the cascading use of residuals. For example, I was able to pilot a session with a brewing company which decided to use the spent brewery grains for the production of or for the cultivation of mushrooms. This is something else because normally or mostly these valuable products are going into the feed industry for cattle, but they wanted to do it to do an upcycling, so to speak. And yes, please go back to the table. And also very interesting is the topic of biorefineries. We have two value chains piloted, which are connected with biorefinery products. Manuela is going to tell you much more about that, but also the Bavarian colleagues did a piloting session on the further utilization of residues from the paper industry, which is also very interesting. As you can see on this nice little picture, we also have the chicken biolink in here, which Michael already told you about. Which is dealing with the protein, with the valuable protein from the chickens. And I also want to give you a little insight on the cross-regional cooperation. I'm very proud of that because, for example, we were able to do a piloting session on hemp fabrics, which hemp is a very outstanding product in regard to its ecological footprint. And as already mentioned from Andreas, it was always necessary to involve at least two actors in the whole BioLink experience, so to say. And I, for my part, tried to do it from the Upper Austrian point of view, and the Italian colleagues from the Fraunhofer Institute did it from the South Tyrolean point of view. And alone, we were not able to accomplish or implement this piloting session because we were not able to identify another actors. But together we could do it, and we could bring them together, and they are now working together. And this is a very positive effect of this whole piloting sessions, and and also in regard to this cross-regional cooperation. So maybe we can go to the next slide, where we selected out of this it are 13 biolinks to be precise. So we even got two more in the list, and not only 11, but we had to select formally select 4 biolinks, and we decided to take the most potential ones, and also the ones with the best documentation, because not every idea was successful. Not every idea made its way to the company, and not every idea was then implemented and had another follow-up activities to be connected with. But we will have an interesting overview of the biorefinery BioLink from Manuela, which was very interesting because they valorized sawdust and wood chips for basic chemical intermediates. And the biorefinery topic is also is always very exciting and interesting, because it's really it's really interesting topic. So I think that we can go to the next participants of the panel, which will go into detail. I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to tell you at least a short a bit of our work we did, and I want to encourage you to read the final publication where we go very much into detail regarding the other value chains. Thank you very much.
Dorian, thank you so much for this short presentation of your impressive work in this piloting phase. And I think it will become even clearer now how impressive this was when digging into the details of concrete examples.